Welcome, and thank you for joining me for another Random Gaming News, where today I just have a few news nuggets like Google opening a new studio, a secret Star Wars game getting leaked by a Twitter bot, Mario getting added to Banjo-Kazooie, plus so much more. Please check out the description as it has a bunch of sweet social media links down there for you guys to check out. Share the video because that does help out the channel the most. Hit the like button if you did like today's video. Subscribe if you haven't already with that bell icon turned on, and let's go ahead and start the show. First up, let's take a look at the new game studio that Google opened up at Playa Vista, California. The studio seems to be, kind of a big push for them to bring some more exclusives and games to their Stadia service, as it is a streaming service that hasn't really been doing that well since it came out at the end of last year. Also, this is another good thing for their service because, you have to pay for a subscription, then pay for the actual games to get on there, so it'd be nice to see them actually come out with some exclusives, to which they actually put out a blog post and stated, "The new Playa Vista studio will focus on delivering exclusive games using new gameplay mechanics, creative ways to play together, and unique interactive models that we're still just starting to explore." And this is something I find pretty interesting because Google also snagged Shannon Studstill to run the actual studio of Playa Vista because she, and why that's kind of interesting to me is that she helped run or produce the new God of War game that came out a couple years ago. And that was something that was, it took a pretty well-established game, kind of turned it on its head for its game mechanics and brought something new to the table that was still pretty enjoyable for fans of the old series to come back and play. So it'd be interesting to see if they do any creative shifts like that, like bringing some new, some different people to run other studios, because they have two main issues happening on Google Stadia. One, that they don't really have a whole lot of games to choose from at the current moment, and not a whole lot of exclusives to their platform. Thus, not a whole lot of people want to come and visit them. Because the second reason is their performance issue. You have to pay your subscription service in order to even get on with Google Stadia, and a lot of people paid that $130 down payment essentially to get into the beta program and get this sweet controller. And I want them to do something about the actual performance of Stadia, also along bringing some exclusives to the table. So it'd be interesting to see what actually comes from this next from Google Stadia here. Now let's talk about Project Maverick. So recently the PSN Twitter account, which is a bot that just tweets out games that are added to the PSN network, actually tweeted out that a game called Maverick was recently added to the European PSN, and it was the picture that came along with it that had everybody saying WTF. And now the picture actually showed us that the game was called Star Wars Project Maverick and showed a lone Star Destroyer and a group of X-Wing kind of flying around planet Mustafar, which is left a lot of people speculating as to what the actual game is, because we didn't get a whole lot of information. But if this is something that EA has actually came out recently and said that they did have two games in the work for the Star Wars franchise, one being a sequel for Jedi The Fallen Order, and then the other one being an unusual Star Wars title. And this would seem to be that unusual Star Wars title. We'd have to wait to see what kind of information we're going to get from it, because usually when we get an unusual Star Wars title, we get like the Star Wars fighting game that is like a 3D Mortal Kombat that was way back in the day. You guys should go check that out. Also, like pod racers and those kind of things. So if we're getting something along those lines where we're not really getting a canon style game, but it's just something more to play with friends and have fun with it, I would be, okay with that. I know we have Battlefront, but I'm not a big, Battlefront fan. I don't really like playing online multiplayer games a whole lot. I'm more of a single player game. So this is something kind of geared towards, bringing single player people over to the multiplayer space and not having it be more casual than kind of competitive gunplay. I would, love to play that game, but we have to wait and see what actually happens, as they have not released any information or saying anything on this actual leak in and of itself. Just a couple of quick stories before we move on to my picks of the week. First, through the awesomeness that is mods, Mario 64 has been added to the 64 version of Banjo-Kazooie thanks to the modder Kaze Emanuar. I'm probably saying that name right, but it's here on the screen, and there's not much information, as he did say that he doesn't have any real playtime or anything along those lines planned. He just wanted to kind of show off what he's doing, but he did actually have thoughts on where all the stars would be from the N64 version of Mario, and adding it to the actual N64 version of Banjo-Kazooie, and that'd be interesting to see. Playing through Banjo-Kazooie as it's the N64 version of Mario, I would love to do that myself here. And lastly, I just wanted to mention that Castlevania Symphony of the Night has now been moved over to the Android and iOS version for just $4. Now, this is a bare bones kind of game that you're getting. It does allow for like quick continues and that kind of thing if you're going to different devices and all that kind of stuff. And it is only $4, but the touchscreen controls aren't really that great, but it does offer gamepad compatibility. So that's something that if you do like Castlevania and you want it kind of on the go there with you, $4 you can get the whole game and you can play it anywhere you'd like, even on the toilet. Now on to my favorite part of the video, where I get to rant a little bit about a couple of games I've been playing this week and what I think about them. And the first one's going to be Wilson. I did actually love playing through this game, the Lords of Mayhem. They are pretty awesome. I do thoroughly enjoy ARPGs, and I do see why this game got a bad rap at the beginning, as it didn't have a whole lot of stability for the actual servers or anything along those lines. But I feel like it has actually gotten a lot more stable now that it is something that they've worked on it a little bit. It's been out for a couple weeks. They've come out with a couple patches. It's worth a pickup if you guys are into games like Diablo. The other game is no stranger to this pick of the week section, as I have picked it even last week, and that's going to be Tim. I see myself always coming back to it. Pokemon has been a franchise I've been playing for the last 25 years, and I will keep playing until the day I die. And with a game like this, where Sword and Shield I found a little disappointing, at least for me. In my opinion, I found it disappointing. But this game kind of picks up and brings it into where I actually like from Pokemon. You're getting a lot of the harder battles. It has a long stretches where you're fighting a bunch of different people or different Tim-Tims. It has different ways to grind up your Tim-Tims so you can face the gym battle leaders or the dojo leaders, and then get to new islands to catch different Tim-Tim, and all those kind of game mechanics kind of draw me back into it each time that I just catch myself not doing anything. So you guys should probably check that out if you guys are into games like Pokemon or the ARPGs like Wilson. Well, that's our video for today. I hope you guys did enjoy it. If you do, let me know about it down in the comments below, and by hitting the like button. That does help out the channel a lot. Check out the description, as it does have a lot of links down there for you guys to check out the social media stuff if you're interested, for like Twitter or Facebook or even Discord. I'd love to have you guys come and hang out or check out the new Facebook page that I created for the channel. Make sure that you are sharing the video, because that does actually help out the channel a lot. The more people we get to it, the bigger this channel can grow. Subscribe if you haven't already, with that bell icon turned on. And as always, I have been Tasty, this has been Random Gaming News, and have a wonderful fucking gaming night.